In the gate. And they're off. Fast Chaz is going to battle for the lead. Omi Island is up close with him, and Omi Island is up to take command. Tribal third in the opening furlong. Uncle Mo's Gold moves up, takes that third spot. Then Highly Desirable, Marsh Creek at the rail, 5 lengths off the lead. It's a gap of 5 to a bit mischievous. The Rabbi and Mysterious Husband trails. Omi Island has passed the half-mile pole in front, leading the way by a length and a half into the far turn. At the rail, Uncle Mo's Gold with Fast Chaz just outside of him. They're followed by Highly Desirable. Tribal is next. Marsh Creek, 6 off the lead, 2 clear of the Rabbi, a bit mischievous, and another 4 to Mysterious Husband. They have a quarter of a mile to go, and Fast Chaz re-engages Omi Island. These two speed for home together. Get forward to Uncle Mo's Gold along the inside, followed by Tribal, Marsh Creek at the rail, and the Rabbi is starting to pick it up late. Here comes the Rabbi in the center of the course. It's Fast Chaz. The Rabbi's eating up the ground on the outside, and they'll be cavilling over the Rabbi. The Rabbi wins it all. Scores by 2. Fast Chaz second. Photo for third between Omi Island and Tribal. Behind them, Marsh Creek. And they're off. Slooh Joy is going out for the early lead. Divine Rascal, Starship Chewbacca down at the rail. Established, and El Diablo Rojo was off pretty slowly in his last. Down the back stretch, it's Divine Rascal ahead in front of Starship Chewbacca. 3 more. Slooh Joy sits in a good spot third as El Diablo Rojo moves up to take fourth. Established now at the back into the far turn, where Divine Rascal concedes the lead to Starship Chewbacca, with Slooh Joy out after them, 3 deep in third. Another 3 to El Diablo Rojo and Established. They're coming toward the quarter pole. Starship Chewbacca with a fresh challenge from Slooh Joy. Slooh Joy up to Starship Chewbacca, who's hanging tough at the rail. 2 more. El Diablo Rojo is starting to warm up in the center of the racetrack. They're a final furlong from home. Starship Chewbacca on the outside. El Diablo Rojo and Slooh Joy fighting on in between. Slooh Joy, Starship Chewbacca, and El Diablo Rojo. Slooh Joy in a hard-fought decision. Starship Chewbacca was second. El Diablo Rojo finished third. Eisenhower, the last one. They're off. Even start. Angier is pretty quick in the center. Down on the inside, here's All That Glory coming up to take the lead easily. And All That Glory spurts clear by 2. Tease Touch on the outside of Angier. Then it's Eisenhower. And down on the inside, In Suspense, has 3 to make up. A gap of 5 to Cathal, racing inside Vader, and Mendelssohn's Music at the back of the field. They move into the far turn behind the favorite All That Glory, 3.5 length lead. Tease Touch is in second. In Suspense at the rail third, followed by Eisenhower and Angier. Another 2 lengths back. Vader starting to pick up a little bit. The 2 trailers are Cathal and Mendelssohn's Music. They're coming to the quarter pole. All That Glory untroubled, chased by Tease Touch. These 2 are dominating. 4 clear of In Suspense and Eisenhower. They're in the final furlong. All That Glory a length and a half. Tease Touch chasing with determination on the outside. All That Glory or Tease Touch. All That Glory, Tease Touch within a half length. All That Glory or Tease Touch. All That Glory all the way. Tease Touch was second. Cathal nicely in third. In Suspense and Angier. In the gate. And they're off. Mucho Suerte, very quick. So is Jay Dutton, who's up to take the lead, and Mystic Spirit matches strides with him. At the rail, Rhino is now hustled right into contention. Ignataus 3 deep into the first turn, and Puddinhead Jones at the back. It's Jay Dutton just in front. He's a little off the rail. Rhino is in tight down on the inside, and Mystic Spirit is just outside of them, clearly into second. Rhino is having to steady off horse's heels. Ignatowski, in the meantime, takes third. Mucho Suerte, red colors, in traffic, fifth, only 3 lengths off the lead, and Puddinhead Jones at the back. It's Jay Dutton who will dictate the terms, leading it by a length as they straighten up for the run down the back stretch. Mystic Spirit second with 5 furlongs to go. Rhino has settled down in third. Ignatowski, Mucho Suerte between those two, and Puddinhead Jones at the back. Jay Dutton passing the half-mile pole, continuing to lead the way over Mystic Spirit in pursuit second. At the rail, it's Rhino by himself in third. Mucho Suerte, Ignatowski losing ground. Puddinhead Jones has trailed throughout. Jay Dutton has led the whole way. Mystic Spirit trying to get by. Hard ridden in second. These two have pulled 4 lengths clear of Rhino in third. Then Ignatowski and Mucho Suerte. A quarter of a mile to go, and Mystic Spirit has wrested the lead from Jay Dutton, and Mystic Spirit cruising well off the rail. Jay Dutton trying to battle on second. It is a block to the rest of them as they come past the 8th pole. Mystic Spirit and Jay Dutton have been battling throughout. Jay Dutton not done. He's fighting bravely along the inside. It's Mystic Spirit, Jay Dutton. Mystic Spirit just in front, and Mystic Spirit a little too good for Jay Dutton, who comes up 3/4 short, maybe 15 lengths back to Puddinhead Jones in a photo with Rhino for the show doe. One more. 7 Wonders. They're in the gate. And they're off. Clean start, mystification on the outside. Here's Carver now coming through to set the pace. Man Among Men came smoothly and moves to take second. Midnight Mammoth now right next to Mystification. Here's Halfway Line, who is darting through the field rapidly to be all the way up a joint second inside Man Among Men. Coalinga Road is racing in between rivals. The 3 trailers, Malibu Coast, 7 Wonders, and Spagliato at the back. It's Carver who shakes loose in the early going, has a 3-length lead over Man Among Men and Halfway Line right together. Those two stride for stride. Coalinga Road between horses, Mystification on the outside, and Midnight Mammoth in the pink is 4 lengths off the lead. Then it's Midnight Coast, followed by 7 Wonders, and another length back to Spagliato. They head toward the half-mile pole with Carver the boss. Carver has it by a length and a half. Man Among Men, Halfway Line still right together. Then comes Mystification, Coalinga Road between, and Midnight Mammoth at the rail. Not much change at all. Malibu Coast, 7 Wonders, and the trailer remains Spagliato. Carver the leader, Man Among Men now clearly second. Halfway Line has lost some ground as they come toward the quarter pole. Then Mystification. They pass that quarter pole and turn for home. Carver, Man Among Men right to him now from the back of the field. 7 Wonders is starting to finish well inside the 8th pole, and Man Among Men with a 3-length lead. 7 Wonders takes up the chase outside a weakened Carver. It's Man Among Men and Umberto Rispoli taking care of business by 2. 7 Wonders second, Coalinga Road, Spagliato from last, and Carver completes the super high 5. And they're off. Show Card with excellent natural speed takes the lead at once from Power Surge in second. Class Clown moves up on the outside, and so Class Clown is outside Show Card with a few jumps. Then it's Diamonds Dancing, and the early trailer is Scary Fast Ride. They're heading to the half-mile pole. Show Card, Class Clown pushes in second. 2 more Power Surge in third, followed by Diamonds Dancing and another couple to Scary Fast Ride. Heading to the 3/8 pole, Show Card and Class Clown squaring off. It's Show Card at the rail by a head. Class Clown up alongside. They're on even terms. Three more Diamonds. Dancing takes third, followed by Power Surge losing ground, and Scary Fast Ride starts to pick it up with 6 to make up, however, as the field turns for home. Show Card hugs the rail, a neck in front of Class Clown. Now it's suddenly a length and a half as Show Card lets it out a notch. Three more to Diamonds. Dancing in third. Scary Fast Ride, 16th pole. Show Card sharp the whole way, has put them away. And it's Show Card showing off. Diamonds Dancing into second. Show Card outclassed them. Diamonds Dancing, Scary Fast Ride, and Class Clown. And that is a riding double for Juan Hernandez. And they're off in the Senorita. And on the inside, Girl of My Dreams flies out of the gate and flashes some very sharp early foot down the hill. Rascality will match strides with her through the opening furlongs, and just behind them, Lone in a good spot third, as the leader, Girl of My Dreams, spurts clear. They're followed by Flattery, racing a fourth down the hill. Visually is right next to her, racing 2 in front of Alluring. Antifona is second to last, and stretch running Shamrockin' at the back of a strung out field. It's Girl of My Dreams with a 2-length lead. Rascality clearly into second. Visually moves up on the outside of Lone, who's down at the rail racing in fourth. Antifona 5 lengths off the pace. Alluring is in the pink silks. Inside of her comes Flattery, and it's a long way to Shamrockin'. Cross the dirt and turning for home, Girl of My Dreams. Lone takes aim and is coming after her in second. In the center of the course, Visually is running a big race, gaining ground with each and every stride. Here's Visually with a sustained bid. Rascality in between horses, Lone and Girl of My Dreams. It's a driving finish. Visually takes command late, and Visually just cruises away from them under Edwin Maldonado to win the Senorita. Rascality was second. It's a blanket photo for third. In there was Shamrock and Lone and Girl of My Dreams. No one hit that super high five, so we're going to have and the rough stop and a trait, very alert out of the gate. So is Crowning Gold, and those two hook up, and they're joined in between by Soul of Midnight. So Soul of Midnight, stride for stride with Crowning Gold, stop and a trait just outside of them. Habeas joins the fray, splitting rivals in the pink silks. Then it's Erebus, Squal Toro second to last, and Zabul is at the back. 6 lengths covers them a half mile from home, and it's Crowning Gold, the leader, pressed by Habeas. 2 more lengths now to Soul of Midnight. In third, patiently handled, but now starting to come after the top pair. At the rail, it's Erebus, followed by Squal Toro in between horses, Stop and a Tray, and Zabul. Around the far turn, Habeas and Crowning Gold knocking heads on the front end with Soul of Midnight 3 deep, asked to get after the top here now. In behind them comes Erebus and Squal Toro there at the top of the stretch, and Habeas on the outside takes the lead, chased by Soul of Midnight. In the center of the racetrack, Squal Toro, and down at the rail, Erebus. Getting tired late is Crowning Gold. It's a driving finish. Squal Toro flying on the outside at Habeas. Habeas has the lead. Squal Toro or Habeas. Photo finish. It's too close to call. Habeas and Squal Toro hit the wire together. The rest among Erebus, Zabul, and there was one more in that battle for third.
You get that hands-on connection.
Whether you have $50,
Aguilera walking in. And they're off. It's a quick start for Jennifer's Delight along the inside. Viala just nails is up and on the pace, and they're joined by My Little Runaway. My Little Runaway takes the lead from Viala as they go down the hill. 2 more lengths. Llorona gets a good stalking spin third, and Exelia is racing in fourth. They're followed by Just Nails, Jennifer's Delight, and Tiergarten. Moving up on the inside is Real Fire, 3 lengths in front of a well-settled Big Summer. At the back of the field are Pastiche, and Haley Levade is the trailer. They're heading toward the quarter pole. My Little Runaway has it a length and a half. Viala is a clear-cut second. They're followed by Exelia in third. Llorona now inching up on the outside in the red cap, making her move. Here's Llorona with a nice run, too. Just Nails is just behind this group, has 5 lengths to make up. Jennifer's Delight, they're at the top of the stretch. Viala, the leader, chased intently by Llorona in the center of the course. In between those two, Exelia is running a big race, and here comes Exelia down on the inside. Real Fire has surfaced late, and from the back of the field, Just Nails. It's a driving finish, but Exelia is right up to Viala. Viala stubborn. Here's the line. Photo finish. Viala and an absolutely flying Just Nails was coming right at her. It's those two in a win photo. Looked like Viala held on. Back in now. They're in the gate. And they're off. Blue Dog and Barely Functional in the center. Here's Jeweled Shillelagh up to take the lead. And City Exile is right up and on the pace, too. A gap of 3 back to Reckless Spirit outside Lincoln Hawk. Sea Singer is down at the rail. Old Pal second to last. And the Show Joy is 10 lengths off the lead. Jeweled Shillelagh will set the tempo, leads it by 2 lengths. Barely Functional and City Exile. City Exile clearly into second now. And they're followed by Blue Dog in fourth, 4 lengths off the lead. Reckless Spirit is comfortable at this stage, while in hand, 4 lengths in front of Sea Singer, who's on the inside. Side of Lincoln Hawk. Behind them, Old Pal had to just steady ever so briefly, and the Showbiz Joy covers up that rival. Down the backstretch, Jeweled Shillelagh has a 2-length advantage on City Exile in second, and Barely Functional is down at the rail, 3 off the pace in third. Then comes Reckless Spirit and Blue Dog. They're followed by Sea Singer in the green, making some headway while awaiting some racing room. Lincoln Hawk, Pink Sleeves is next, Old Pal, and the Showbiz Joy. Around the far turn, Jeweled Shillelagh continues a half length in front. City Exile, Barely Functional. On the outside of him comes Blue Dog. A run coming from Lincoln Hawk. He's swinging to the far outside. Old Pal, Sea Singer down at the rail. Wide open at the top of the stretch. City Exile narrowly. Jeweled Shillelagh. Room for Barely Functional is at a sweet journey, and Barely Functional is coming for the lead. Center of the course, Lincoln Hawk, and Old Pal is erupting from the back of the field. Welcome back, Old Pal, from last to first. City Exile, Lincoln Hawk, and then Barely Functional. It's close for 5th.
Hi, everybody, and a very happy Friday to all of you from all of us here at Senorita, and a special happy birthday to prominent owner Samantha Siegel. One thing I know about Samantha, besides owning horses and playing the races, she will definitely be playing the Pick Six carryover today. The carryover, $104,000. That'll start on race 3 on our 8-race card. Another guarantee I can give you is our seminar guest today is going to be playing the Pick Six as well. His name, Jason Avila. Jason, happy Friday. Welcome to the seminar.
Happy Friday, TQ. Thank you.
It's great to have you here. Now, you know, we talk about good things on the show, but sometimes we have to talk about bad beats. And I always say there's a million ways to lose a horse race. You might have found a new way to lose a horse race. It wasn't on Kentucky Derby Day. It was on Sunday when we had all those prices, which caused this Pick Six carryover. Do tell your sad woes, which is kind of an unbelievable story, but we've all kind of been there in one way, shape, or another.
Bringing back bad memories, but it's early, so I guess we can keep doing it.
The wounds are still fresh.
Yeah, and just when you think you can't find another way to lose, you find another way. I thought, Saturday I really messed up, really bad.
And you played in the $3,000 Kentucky Derby tournament, so you were fired away with heavy lumber.
I was, and I really made a mistake, and I'm going to attribute that one to rust. But then come Sunday, I didn't even really want to play Sunday because of Saturday. I was just worn out. I look at the card. I'm like, oh, I like this horse. This horse is 12-1 morning line. Horse ends up going off at 29-1, I think it is, down the turf. Viala, down the hill with Tyler Bass.
And Liberaccio?
No.
Okay, sorry.
Marcelo
okay,
Polanco.
Right.
So I'm trying to be smart. I have time. I think, okay, I'm going to go save my bets.
You do all the work. You know who you like.
Right. I'm going to go put all my bets in, save a few, and make sure everything's the way it's supposed to be.
Scratches, whatever it might be.
Don't do what I did yesterday and change, something or put something in wrong. So I saved the bets, and, I'm sitting at home with no distractions, I thought, but then on the TV, everybody starts talking about, well, the Golden Hour Pick 4, the pool is this and this and that. And I'm like, oh, well, I like this horse. I'm going to single this horse in the Golden Hour Pick 4. So I start going and doing Golden Hour Pick 4 tickets.
You go to the bet pad for expressbet.com.
Go to the bet pad, start submitting those. Race goes off. Horse wins. Friends are texting me, I hope you crushed it. And at that point, I'm thinking, I did crush it. I just need to go add up how much I won.
Yeah.
And I can't find my bets. And I'm like, oh, no, I never submitted them. They were all in the queue. So yeah, I'm still trying to get over it. But,
well, your bad luck is out of the way now. You're going to actually have good luck for us today.
So.
Let me actually ask you a question about just philosophy of handicapping and wagering, Jason. And that is, perception versus reality. When we handicap, we have perceptions of who we think might win, but then the reality of the race is actually run. And sometimes that doesn't match up with our perception. So how do you differentiate? How do you distinguish what you thought going into the race in terms of what you think coming out of the race?
Yeah, it took a long time for me to kind of work through that because, for example, way back when I always loved betting closers because it's kind of sexy. Like you have a horse come from behind and you see it here when people come to the track and they bet a horse that comes and closes. They're like, oh my God, did you see that horse come from last?
Much more sexier than a front runner.
Right. But after getting beat time after time after time,
especially in Southern California.
Yeah, like you learn. So you have to retrain your brain, which is very, very hard. And I tell people now, I'm like, I won't even question it. I will bet speed. I want to be on the front. You want to be in the lead. And if you don't win, you don't win, or you want to be close. You want to be in the race. Obviously, there's times you can't always say, everything applies to every race, but there's times where you want a closer. But you really have to be careful, and don't just go start tossing horses because you think, oh, there's too much speed in here and they're all going to get tired. Usually one of them keeps going, whether they win or not. So, but yeah, you have to manage the brain. It's funny. I was thinking last weekend, like, I might pitch the idea of having a psychiatrist in a tent, a gambling psychiatrist. So,
they might make more money than Belinda Stronach.
Go in there, pay a few bucks after a bad beat, talk to a professional, let them help you through it, and then come out.
Almost like a confession booth.
Yeah, it might work. I'd vote for it.
Now, Jason, tell us what type of handicapper you are. You almost were on the verge of having a great day on Sunday, and you spent a lot of time and effort preparing and making your bets that unfortunately you didn't make. But just, when you crack open a fresh copy of the daily racing form or print out the PPs as you did, what are the things you're looking at? And we touched upon this in our last seminar. You kind of trained your brain to think differently than most handicappers. So let's kind of expand on that thought process for a minute.
Yeah, I think now kind of what I've evolved into is I don't like coming up with ideas in your head about what you think, what do you think is going to happen because so-and-so is doing this? Or I look at numbers. I start with numbers.
You're an analytical guy.
I'm an
That's
analytical
your base,
person.
That's your starting point?
Yeah, it's my starting point. And I just feel like if you're going to anchor yourself in something, whether the number's right or wrong, because there can be mistakes and errors and variations, I anchor myself in the number. And then I go from there and then I try to think about other factors that maybe will affect those numbers and basically kind of see, okay, which horses fit. If a horse is a little bit low on numbers, is there a reason why it might get closer today because maybe there is a fast pace and it's going to have a better setup? Maybe
or a different distance.
Or different distance. And then what I do, then I go to the odds because that's really the end all. It's like, if I really think this horse is in with a shot today, but I think it should be 10-1 and it's 5-2, I'm turned off all day, every day. I mean, I might still play it because of the gambler in me, but not as aggressive. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing I've learned recently over the last 5 or 6 years is when you have those opportunities when they're not 10-1, they're like 29-1, like Sunday. You really you really take a shot, and that's where you really crush it and you really make a good score.
And most casual players make the opposite mistake. They tend to shy away when their horses are actually not getting bet. They're like, oh boy, maybe I'm on the wrong path. Those are the times when they should be crushing. They do the exact opposite. Using your example, when a horse is 10-1 on the morning line and they're 5-2 on the tote board, they actually bet more. It should be the exact opposite. I've experienced the same thing time and time again. Mm-hmm. The odds board is not necessarily your friend. It can be occasionally, but you have to believe in your conviction and really make a score when the odds are in your favor.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where you just have to trust your opinion. And if the horse is getting bet down, it shouldn't matter. I mean, obviously it might change your wager, but if the horse is drifting up, it also shouldn't matter. But it's just natural. Like I still do. When I see a horse drift up, I'm like, if the horse has a chance, you would think there's somebody else on the inside that might be putting some money on the horse. It's just a human thing, but more times than not, it doesn't work in your favor. So you're better off just going with your gut.
Another generic question for you, Jason, and this deals with the analytical number versus what your eyes see. Let's use an example where the trainer is 0 for 30 with his first-time starters, his or her first-time starters. And suddenly, courtesy of our friends at xbtv.com, the horse has 3 magnificent workouts and looks ready to be fire. How do you balance what you see versus what analytically the statistics are telling you?
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up because today I have a couple of those scenarios where I saw works that I can find I like them visually, but I look at the trainer stats, and you look who they're in against, and the trainers with a lot of horses that win a lot of races, and you want to second guess yourself and be like, this person never really wins, or they don't, they win once in a while. They never even run first timers, but you have to just block that out. And at least I do. I go with what I see, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I think that's the thing that I'm trying to work harder at is when I'm wrong, and just be wrong. And it's okay because we're going to be wrong.
We've got 8 races today. We only want Jason to be right. Those would be on races 3 through 8, which comprises our pick 6 carryover of $104,000 already in the pool. Expectations are another $500,000 in new money will be wagered. We're going to find out who Jason likes on all 8 races. But before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the early changes on today's Friday's card here at the Great Race Place.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Senorita Park, the great race place where the track is fast and the turf course is firm. The rail on the turf is out 30 feet for today's 8-race card. We have a pick 6 carryover, more than 104,000. It starts with the 3rd. The first race starts our program, which is the beginning of the 50-cent early pick 5. No scratches or jockey changes. In the second, number 5, Runnin' on Promises, will carry 1 pound over. The third is the start of the pick 6. $104,581, just the blinker note in race 3. No high 5 in the 4th, which kicks off the all-turf pick 3. as well as the late pick 5. Scratch number 1, Chevy Girl. In the 5th, scratch 1, Let the Liquor Talk, and as a result, there will be no show wagering. 3, Winning Big, 2 pounds over. 4, Dedois, 1 pound over. In the 6th, number 6, Perfect in Gray, 2 pounds over. 7th race, number 2, Sabres will carry 1 pound over. 7th race starts the Golden Hour pick 4. 8th race, No High 5, scratch 4, Anna's Music. Golden Hour double starts with the 8th. Enjoy your day at the Great Race Place. They'll be at the gate for race 1 in 59 minutes at 1 p.m. Let's go back to Quigley's Corner. Tom's special guest today, Jason Avila.
Welcome back. We're talking horse with Jason Avila. He's a graduate of the University of Arizona Racetrack Industry Program. He's also a member of the Ambassador Program right here at Senorita. He helps new fans learn about this wonderful sport of ours, but he's also an accomplished horse player. We're going to find out who Jason likes on today's 8-race card, keeping in mind the pick 6 carryover of $104,000. No one was able to solve the riddle this past Sunday, resulting in the carryover for today. So let's kick things off here, Jason. In race number 1, we've certainly got plenty of other wagers on the wagering menu as well, including the 50-cent early pick 5. And in race 1, we're going 1 mile on the turf course for $30,000 claimers, non-winners of 3-race life. The turf rails today are at 30 feet. We've got a good field of 6. Morning line favorite and the current betting choice at 8-5 is on the bottom. Tom and Jazzy from the Mike Pipey barn. Kent DeSormo in the saddle. Talk to us about race 1, Jason.
So my boy Dylan Donnelly, the owner of Tom and Jazzy, might be
We know
mad
who
at
he
me.
is. He's a pretty bad horse player, and that's said in a positive way.
An awesome horse player, but I don't pick Dylan's horse on top today. I actually like the 2-horse Aurelian Man for Alfredo Marquez. 2 back, the horse closed into a bit of a slow pace. Last time was wrapped up late, wide early, and this horse's best races have been on the grass. I think there's improvement expected off the layoff dirt dry, and I think the price should be right. We're 9-2 right now. I'd be okay with that. But yeah, on top is Aurelian Man.
And it's an excellent point you make, Jason, with Aurelian Man, because really what you have to do in order to find prices is draw lines through bad efforts. And you're willing to do that with the comeback race on April 20th. As you mentioned, that was an outside post on the main track. He prefers the turf course. He has 2 career wins, both of them on the turf course. You just have to ignore that race and assume that he'll improve second off the layoff.
Yeah, and I think he will. Like I said, he was wrapped up. It didn't go his way. I don't think he really wants dirt. So that's an easy one for me to draw a line through and see potential improvement there.
We can also see on the graphic, you give a little love to number 5, National Generou from the George Papadromo barn. What is it about him that you love?
So this horse seems like he's best when he's involved early, and I think Rispoli should have him up there early today, pressing the pace. He seems to be on the improve. So I took the 2 over the 5, mainly because of the price, but I think they're very, very close in terms of the winner of the race.
Here's an interesting statistic courtesy of Brad Free from the Daily Racing Form, and it involves number 6, Tom and Jazzy, who I mentioned is trained by Mike Pipey. Did you know that in turf routes since February of this year, the Pipey barn is 6 for 10? They only have 4 losses out of those 10 starts, but as you look at Tom and Jazzy's past performance running lines, you can see 2 of those losses relate to Tom and Jazzy as well. So not sure that strong statistic applies to this specific horse, but generally speaking, the Pipey barn has been doing very well with their turf route starters since February. Let's take a look at race number 2. Begins the 50-cent early pick 4. This is for the babies, and this is for open company. The earlier baby races last week were for Calbreds. This is the first open race, and we're traveling 4.5 furlongs on the main track for maiden special weight 2-year-old fillies. We've got a field of 5. Morning line favorite number 1, Night Beacon from the Ryan Hansen barn, who's 8-5 on the morning line. We're going to look at a number of works here, Jason, individually. The first one here is for Night Beacon. Night Beacon is the runner on the rail. You're going to see this as a very impressive work, but when they broke from the gate, you can see Night Beacon Beacon doesn't have a tremendous amount of blazing early speed. Eventually, she'll draw away very impressively. And it's important to note who she's drawing away from. She's drawn away from a runner by the name of Broadway Venus. If you go back and look at the result charts for last Friday, also from the Ryan Hansen barn, Broadway Venus broke her maiden on debut against Calbreds, earning a Beyer speed figure of 56. Now, the par figure Beyer speed figure for this caliber of race is a 66. So you would expect Night Beacon to be better than Broadway Venus, which of course she is. But this is a very, very impressive work. My concern would be that she wasn't quick out of the gate and she draws the rail today. She was a little slow in the style, but visually, this is a very, very impressive work. I know you saw this work. You probably have similar feelings, Jason.
Yeah, and this was kind of one of the scenarios we talked about earlier about the eye, you know, what you see. And I thought the same thing. I'd echo everything you said. The break was the issue for me, and we're going 4.5 furlongs today. And the first, actually 1 through 4 in this race, you can see their works. And I thought the 2 broke best out of all 3 of them. It's 4.5 furlongs. Is this horse going to be better than the rest of them moving forward? Maybe, maybe not. But could she get out today and get in front and maybe beat them to the wire? I could see it happening. But yeah, I thought the same thing on that work. And like I said, the other 2 horses, the 3 and the 4, they also kind of they were tardy out of the gate.
Well, we're going to watch those works. But before we do, just one other note about Night Beacon. You can see that her sire is spun to run. This is his first crop of babies. You'll recall he won the 2019 Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile right here at Senorita. So exciting times for not only spun to runs connections as a breeder, but also for Ryan Hansen. And Night Beacon certainly has a lot of ability. But as we've been talking about, drew the rail, unfortunately. Let's take a look, Jason. Rather than talk about it, take a look at a workout for Lucky Nia. This was a gate work on May 4th, and she's going to break from the inside. The outside runner you can see is going to go 6 furlongs, a much farther distance. Lucky Nia is only going to go 3 furlongs, but the Baffert runner, by the way, the Baffert runner is the one on the outside, sure seems to be a runner. So going head-to-head early with a very talented daughter of Justify from the Baffert barn certainly doesn't seem to be any reason not to like her. And as you mentioned, as we're watching the work, certainly plenty of early speed, 35 and change down inside of a Baffert monster. This is probably an under-the-radar type of work.
Yeah, I think so. And I haven't asked my guy Umberto, but I think he's on that horse for Baffert on the outside, that 4-year-old filly by Justify. But yeah, you can see, I mean, the first thing I noticed was, wow, who's this on the outside? She's good. Obviously, you can see the Baffert saddle towel. But then on the inside, I'm like, okay, George Lopez is running, working this horse with a Baffert. I mean, the horse broke good. Can she get 4.5? If she can get anything, it's going to be 4.5. So I figured, yeah, why not take a shot?
And the dam is actually excellent with first-time courtesy of Dira Formulator, where all this information is provided. The dam has thrown 5 first-time starters. 2 of them emerged victorious on debut. 1 finished second. So 3 for 5. Certainly some precocity for the dam of number 2, Lucky Nia. Again, let's take a look at workout for number 3. So There She Was. This is a workout back on April 28th. It's another gate workout. In this particular workout, she's going to be in the middle. Now, she doesn't break extremely alertly, but what you're going to see is she's extremely steady. She just kind of goes about her business. She doesn't really fall out of the picture. She doesn't get embarrassed. She's able to gather herself. Again, we're dealing with first-time starters here. She's in between runs. She can't be super comfortable, and yet she's showing a lot of gameness to get right up there and kind of get involved after not showing a lot of early speed. The dam is only 1 for 15 where they're foals up to this point in terms of their career lifetime, but Doug O'Neill certainly needs no introduction to these 2-year-old races. For the last 5 years, with his 2-year-old first-time starters, he's hitting at a 14% win clip. Not as quick as Lucky Nia, but nevertheless, Jason, showed a little bit of gameness here. So There She Was, who we're looking at on the outside.
Yeah, I didn't know what to make of this work, actually, because those 2 horses that she worked with, the outside horse, Odie's Memory Lane, came back. They both came back. Night with Louise and Odie's Memory Lane came back and ran last week. And they didn't run all that great. I think They were in the Broadway Venus race, and they both got dusted by Broadway Venus. And I mean, obviously here, I thought that So There She Was definitely the best of the 3. I like the 5-1 morning line. I mean, it's hard to toss Doug O'Neill. I mean, he wins so many races, and he wins these races with first timers all the time. So I didn't really know what to make of that horse, and I was kind of back and forth between that horse and the 4 for my second choice.
5 runners in race number 2. So let's watch the workout for number 4, Angel from Above. This was on May 5th. This is another gate workout. She's going to be down on the inside when we roll the taper, and you're going to see she's a step slow into stride. Right there, she kind of hesitates, but she's got a lot of early ability. You can see they're going to work 4 furlongs and 46 and change. The exercise rider is kind of down on his belly, I should say, and asking her for running. You're going to see that she responds. She gets up in here. She does very, very well. And here's another trainer that does very well with his 2-year-old first-time starters. Luis Mendez does very, very well. I believe this is Escobedo in the saddle as well this particular morning. Nothing wrong with this effort, but again, maybe not as quick as some of the other runners we've been watching.
Yeah, and I thought she leveled out the best out of all 4 of the works that we watched. But going back to like the perception thing, Luis Mendez, he gets bet with, especially when he's got the morning line favorite. Everybody knows he pops with firsters, so he gets bet. But I'm gonna go with my eye here, and the horse broke bad, so I'm gonna hope for a bad break for the 1, 3, and the 4.
And Lucky Nia, 10-1 on the morning line. You saw the works. You're able to make your own decision. Running Promises, unfortunately, doesn't have any workout video on xbtv.com. Also, the Sire Promises Fulfilled. This is his first crop as well. And Jeff Bondi does very well with first-time starters as well, with some excellent gate works as well. So having said all that, we can see graphically, you kind of make the race 2-4, generally off of both pedigree and what we saw on the workout video.
Yes.
Fair enough. Well, let's get to the real showstopper here, which is the $1 pick 6, which begins in race number 3, $104,000 pick 6 carryover, as we've been mentioning. And we kick things off in race 3, going 1 mile on the main track for $10,000 claimers. A field of 5. Number 5, Tembo, is the 6-5 morning line favorite. A bit of an in and out, but still kind of towers over this field from a buyer speed figure standpoint. Single, or are you looking elsewhere, Jason?
I'm actually looking elsewhere here. I thought Tembo's very consistent, seems to run the same numbers, but I have a feeling the horse is going to regress here. And I actually like the barn mate, the 2 horse, stay in the game.
Why run 2 when 1 will do?
Yeah, and I watched that replay. He kept on okay late, and I think the blinkers off is going to help. I think the distance is going to help. I'm going to take a shot here. And I mean, obviously I would use Tembo in the pick 6, but I like the 2 quite a bit. And at 10-1, I have a feeling that horse is not going to be 10-1 though.
You also like a dropper, number 3, Granada Flavor, who's a 3rd off the layoff, reclaimed by trainer Sean McCarthy and the owner as well. What is it you like about Granada Flavor?
I thought Granada Flavor was rounding in form, should be within striking distance. And like I said, Tembo is the obvious one, but I'm going to take a shot and say that Tembo is going to regress, and I think Granada Flavor and Stay in the Game are going to improve. So that's the hope.
Race number 4 begins the 50-cent leg pick 5. It also is the first leg of the $3 all-turf pick 3. And naturally, we're sprinting on the turf course. 6 furlongs the distance for fillies and mares. It's a starter allowance race. 1 scratch the 1. Chevy Girl leaves us with a field of 6. Number 4, Pink Ace, who has never been on turf but comes back off the layoff for the Phil D'Amato barn, is the 9-5 morning line favorite. Might have a lot of class, but turf is the question. What are you doing here for, Jason?
Yeah, I didn't really know what to do with this one from Phil's barn either. She obviously has had some hiccups along the way to coming back. She threw in a clunker when they tried her in the Torrey Pines at Del Mar. She's on numbers. She's probably the fast horse if she transfers to turf, which I don't really see why she wouldn't, just visually looking at her. From a gambling perspective, though, I couldn't single this horse. I would maybe use her. But I'm going to go with Blonde Bombshell, the number 5 in this race. And I really like the way she finished. She seems to have that finish on the turf. And so I thought that, she wants her sprint, the way she closed, the way she looked. I figured I'd take a shot with her, but this race is tough. I'd probably spread slightly in here on the pick 6. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Jason, Blonde Bombshell, last time out, you said was very impressive visually winning that race. But the concern is she earned a buyer speed figure of 78. That's the best she's ever earned in her 12-race career. They've given her some time off, but is there any concern for a bounce?
I'm not concerned. I actually prefer, I like that the DRF says that, because the numbers that I use for the grass don't say that. Mm-hmm. So I'm not concerned, but I'm glad that it's that way on on DRF.
If you don't mind disclosing some of your trademark secrets, what type of numbers do you use for the turf? Is this the Duke Matisse?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I use a product called Predictiform.
Okay.
And I think just from my experience, by far on the grass, I think they're the best.
Are they pace numbers and final figure numbers, or
yes.
just okay?
Yes. Yeah, they're pace and final figure numbers, and it's I'm a very visual person, and for whatever reason, the way they format it, it just clicks with me, and I can look at it really fast and form an opinion, and that's what I need, because the longer I look, the more
fuzzy it
gets. More ways I go. So, yeah, but I don't like to share that because I don't think a lot of people use
well,
it,
nobody's watching, so don't worry about it. But nevertheless, you bring an interesting concept to the table that I believe in as well, because you spend a lot of time in the paddock. You need to differentiate yourself from the betting public, because most of the players are looking almost exclusively at the daily racing form. The more you can supplement whatever that information might be, whatever sources that might be from, the more comfortable it is, the more reliable it is, the more you should be able to utilize it, because in the long run, and that's what we're really talking about, not just for today, but in the long run, you're actually going to emerge a winner, because it's a pari-mutuel pool we're playing into.
Exactly. And that's where, you look, nothing you use is going to be right all the time. But when you find that one nugget that, you see everybody clamoring to, and or you're confident, like, I don't like this, even with friends who are awesome handicappers of mine, we'll talk, I'll share my opinion on the numbers and stuff. And they just may be so set in what they're looking at. Like, I mean, I'm the same way. Like, you're not going to talk me off a horse. Like, you're not going to talk me off this horse and tell me that she's going to bounce. I mean, I'd probably say, let's make a head-to-head wager.
Of course. But that's the beauty of handicapping, right? We shouldn't agree. That's we should have a difference of opinion. And when they run the race, we'll find out who's right and who's wrong.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Let's take a look at race number 5. Begins the 50-cent late pick 4. We're sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track for straight 3-year-olds. $32,000 is the claiming tag. Scratch the 1. Leaves us with a field of 4. Number 5, Midnight Love. The only multiple winner in the field is the 9-5 Mooring Lane favorite. We haven't seen him since mid-February. Talk to us about race 5, Jason.
So I go with the 5, the outside horse, the 5 here. Nothing exciting. 9-5. Midnight Love, she's shown steady improvement with Palma all the way back to December of last year, and I think she sits the trip here. I think this one's pretty just straightforward numbers wise. She's a fit. I do use the 3 horse underneath because I think he's a tad better sprinting. I think he might pick up the pieces. I'm not a fan of the 4 horse De Deutz. I think the horse is going the wrong way. So it's a short field. There's only 4 horses with the scratch. So yeah, I would probably single this race.
Let's see if I can convince you, Jason, to include number 2, Outgunned, based upon a workout courtesy of our friends at xbtv.com. It was back on May 1st. It was a workout from the gate. And as we queue up the workout here, it's going to be a solo workout breaking from the gate. The thing that catches my eye is the exercise rider is down on his belly right away out of the gate. They're trying to get this horse to show speed, and it's mission accomplished because it's 47 and change for the work. And it's a nice steady work. Here's the reason why I like Outgunned. On debut, he broke his maiden for $50,000. He kind of was an upset winner because he went off at odds of 12-1. And then since then, he's tried the turf long and ran against Older last time. But they've never tried this horse, the son of Outwork, on the main track. And I think based off this workout, I think we can all agree he's going to like the main track. He's going to show speed. He's at a disadvantage because he's drawn down inside. But Armando Ayuso is certainly making a big presence here in Southern California. Not only who's going to be the jockey of Outgunned today, he not only rides here on Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, but up until closing day, he rode Monday through Thursday at Turf Paradise as well. So I think this is a bit of a stranger type of horse here in the pick 6. He's 6-1 on the morning line. He's got early speed. They're going to ask him for it, and I think he gets a little bit of class relief as well. I understand Midnight Love is the only 2-time winner in the field, but if you look at the past performances, which are the numbers most of us use, his career best is 59. Every single runner in this field has run better than a 59 in his career. In their brief careers up to this point, I think Midnight Love could be a vulnerable single for those players who are contemplating doing so. Race number 6, we're back sprinting on the turf course. 6 furlongs the distance for fillies and mares. It's a starter optional claiming race, and we've got a field of 7. John Sadler trains 2 in here. So does Mark Blatt, but the morning line favorite is one of the Sadlers, number 6, Perfect in Gray, who's a 3-year-old tackling older. 5-2 on the morning line. Tiago Pereira in the saddle. Talk to us about race 6, Jason.
So I tried to get cute here.
This is the best, in my opinion, in the sequence. I think any of the runners in this race can win.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. And, Perfect and Gray's race was solid. I don't think she beat much, but you could see she's got more in the tank. The price kind of turns me off a little bit in a wide open field like this, but I thought that there was going to be some speed in here, and I took a shot with the 1-horse Certitude for Sadler. Last race came back pretty fast. I don't know whether to believe it or not. I was kind of iffy on it, but I figured that the race was going to set up for her. I think she'll break. I think she'll settle and make a run and try to, close on that fast pace. The other horse I used was the 5 Elton Sings Another, who I really wanted to make my top pick, but I think there just might be too much heat up front. So I think she'll take to the grass. But like I said, I think there's going to be a little bit of pace up front, and it might do them all. The outside 3 horses, it might do them all in. So, but yeah, it's a good betting race. It's tough there.
1 and 5 in race number 6. So says some of our guest, Jason Avila. A couple additional points to what Jason said. On the morning lane, favorite number 6, Perfect and Gray. You can see first off the claim for trainer John Sadler. Ironically, John trained the dam Picture Perfect as well. So I have a feeling that's why he dipped in and decided to put her on the turf. He hits at 19% over the last 5 years going first-time turf. So nothing wrong with that statistic. And Elton Sings Another. Here's the problem with using analytics, because you have to stay on your toes and be adaptable. If you were just look at the 5-year average for Mark Glatt going first-time turf, his barn is only 5 for 68 going first-time turf. That's 7%. But believe it or not, 2 of those wins were recently. One of them, you can look right in the racing form for number 3, Yellow Sundress. Yellow Sundress was first-time turf for Mark Glatt, wound up winning. And if you go to the nightcap race today in race number 8, a runner by the name of Grazing in the Sun also was first-time turf for the Glatt barn. So Glatt barn certainly waking up with their first-time turf runners. I agree with Jason. I think Elton Sings Another could be dangerous, showing early speed for a barn that recently has been doing very well with their first-time turf runners. Race number 7 begins the $1 Golden Hour Pick 4. That's right. Our sister track up north, Golden Gate, is running today. So we're able to offer Golden Hour Pick 4 wagering, and we'll kick things off in race number 7, sprinting 6.5 furlongs in the main track for maiden claimer fillies and mares in for a $20,000 tag. Tough race here if you can get by the likely single for many players who's putting blinkers on. Number 2, Sabres from the Doug O'Neill barn, taking a drop down in class. Thumbs up or thumbs down on the favorite here, Jason?
Thumbs down. I just don't. This race, I didn't like this race. I didn't like the horses that figure in here. They all have holes. Sabres, this is probably where she should have been. So I'm wondering if maybe, she didn't run horrible last time, and she should obviously improve with the drop. But I feel like she could also regress to a point where, she makes favoritism look like not a good value play.
You're going for the gusto here, looking at the graphic.
I am. I'm swinging for the fences. And kind of go back to the earlier point about what I saw. So John Cortez doesn't have many horses. I'm assuming he doesn't run very many horses. But on the replays on XBTV of the workout, this horse worked back in December, which was awful. It did not look good. But then she comes back and works more recently, and it looks like a complically different horse.
I saw those 2 workouts, and the most recent one, she looks very, very professional.
Right. She's striding out. She kind of, it's hard to tell, but from the camera, she kind of looks like a bigger mare. But I figured I'm gonna take a shot. Nothing else in here that I was really had a strong opinion about. And we had a 5-year-old first timer win about a week ago for Mike Pipey and Sluggo and Paymaster named Our Bucky's Charm, that came out of that Pheasant-Tipton, California yearling sale. So maybe we can make it two in about a week or so. And a 5-year-old mare, so the connections have certainly kept her in training and paid the bills to go along with that as well. As Jason mentioned, this race is a bit of a grab bag. I will say for Sabres, who's adding blinkers and taking the drop down in class, the Doug O'Neill barn likes going turf to dirt. They've done it the last 10 times they've done it. They've had 4 victories, 1 second and 1 third, 6 for 10 in the money. Sabres, you can see in her career when she started at Ellis Park in Delmar back in July and September of last year, was actually running against the boys. So they must have liked her
Obviously, things didn't work out. Now, as Jason mentioned, probably placing her realistically in the spot where she can win. She's down inside with Maldonado in the saddle. Blinkos go on. It's a dilemma for horse players playing the pick six. Do you single her or do you go deep? That's really one of the reasons why structure of the ticket is sometimes more important than putting the horses you like on the ticket. We close out the pick six sequence and we close out the day in race number 8, which also offers $5 golden hour daily double wagering. Similar concept. Last race here with the last race at Golden Gate. We close it out sprinting 6 furlongs in the turf course for Calbred, fillies and mares, non-winners of one other than. Scratch the 4. Anna's Music leaves us with a field of 6. The aforementioned Grazing in the Sun from the Mark Glatt barn, who ran a unbelievably good race last time out as the 9-5 morning line favorite. Back in for the same condition, but now in for the tag. Another dilemma here. Talk to us about the nightcap, Jason.
Yeah, like you said, Glatt's stats on dirt turf. You know, I thought this horse's turf numbers that I have that last race was very, very strong, and it looked. The other thing that I really like about predictive form is I've found patterns that seem to identify horses going from dirt to turf, and this horse had that prior to that last turf race. So I mean, I didn't want to get cute here. I just thought, you know, if Grazing in the Sun runs anything close to that last race, I think she wins this race. The horse on the inside has talent. I think will also love the grass. She seems like a little thing that should, you know, appreciate the change in surface, but she's also inside. Grazing in the Sun is going to get the break, be up there. So, yeah, I didn't want to get cute here. I went with Grazing in the Sun. I think she runs something close to that. And probably makes it easy.
Some additional comments on Grazing in the Sun, who is Jason's top pick. Brad Free interviewed Mark Glatt. You can read the comments in the Daily Racing Forum. And Mark Glatt was just very realistic. He said, look, this is a big purse. If she wins and gets claimed, that's another $55,000 or $60,000 in our pocket. They only took her for $16,000, and she's lightly raced. She's a 5-year-old with only 9 lifetime starts, so she's probably not the soundest mare in the world, but it certainly makes sense from a placement standpoint. The question is, what price do you take? And the 80 buyer speed figure that she earned certainly has been validated, because you can see in the past performances, the second and third place finishers' names have been italicized, meaning they came back to win. Not only did they come back to win, they ran buyer speed figures of 77 and 75 in their victories. Again, further validating that 80 that Grazing in the Sun earned. Also, Sharp Ride, who Jason gave out as a second choice in the race. She's a full to Thornhouse, who's earned $190,000 in her career, including a turf victory as well. I agree with Jason. If there is an upsetter, perhaps it's number 1, Sharp Ride in the nightcap, but a very, very good and competitive 6-race sequence. Keep in mind, live racing resumes tomorrow. We'll have a 9-race card beginning at 1 o'clock. But before then, I just want to thank Jason so much for his time and insight. Predictive form. See, you learn something new every day. I'm going to check it out tonight when I get back home. Can I pass post? Will let me look at previous results so I can see what's going on? Or do I have to look at it going forward?
Yes, you can. You
Okay.
can look at previous
All right.
results, yes.
As a horse player, you never stop and learn, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And you certainly know that well, Jason. Thanks so much for joining me on the seminar. Good luck with not only your picks today, but make sure whoever you decide to play that you hit that send button on the computer.
Thanks, TQ.
Thanks to all of you for watching as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Not only have a fun afternoon, everybody, but good luck on all your tickets, including the pick six that has a carryover of $104,000. Thanks so much for watching. We'll do it all again tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Senorita Park, the great race place. The track is fast and the turf course is firm with the rail on the turf out 30 feet. Here are the changes. No scratches or jockey changes in race 1. In the second, number 5, running on promises, 1 pound over. The third is the start of the pick 6. We have a great carryover, $104,581 in the $1 pick 6 carryover. In the fourth, scratch number 1, Chevy Girl, there's no high 5 wagering. The fourth race starts the late pick 5 as well as the $3 all-turf pick 3. No show wagering in the fifth, scratch 1, Let the Liquor Talk. Overweights 3, winning big 2 over. 4, Dedois, 1 pound over. In the sixth, number 6, Perfect in Gray, 2 pounds over. Seventh race starts the golden hour pick 4, number 2, Sabres, 1 pound over. Eighth race starts the golden hour double, no high 5 wagering, scratch 4, Anna's Music. Enjoy at Santa Anita Park. Pick 6 carryover on races 3 through 8. They'll be at the gate for the opener in 26 minutes at 1 p.m.
$104,000 pick six carryover to shoot for on Friday at Santa Anita. We have 2 prime plays, 4th race and the 6th race. So these are possible singles if you're playing the pick six. 4th race, starter allowance grass event for fillies and mares. Number 4, Pink Ace on the comeback trail for trainer Phil D'Amato. She won her league, so we know she can run well fresh, and she is really training well. Take a look at this breeze not too long ago. This was a gate work. Pink Ace is on the inside of the 3. She's going very easily here. Eventually, she's going to go 5/8 and 59 and 2. Excellent work. She's going to wind up second to her stablemate. But Pink Ace is never asked at any stage. You can see her on the inside in the white cap. And I love the way she is going to finish here. You can see her breezing every step of the way. So I think Pink Ace is fit and ready. I think she's going to be very tough to beat in the 4th race at Santa Anita. Jump ahead of the 6th race. This is another starter race, starter optional claimer. Number 3, Yellow Sundress. Very impressive breaking her maiden for Mark Glatt. Take a look at this race. This was a grass race here at Santa Anita. You can see her on the outside. She is going to wear down her stablemate, who was very well met in this race as well, Jay Ho. But Yellow Sundress, much the best in the final stages. A little green on her left lead, but she's full of run, and she's going to gallop out strongly. This race earned a huge number. I think she comes right back and wins again. That's number 3, Yellow Sundress, in the 6th race on Friday at Santa Anita.